Hi, boys and girls. Now we're going to read about Martin Luther King Jr. And he was someone who worked really hard in his life for equal rights for all. And this book is written as a biography, as an autobiography. And it's as if he's speaking right to us as we read. Let's go ahead. I was born in Atlanta. It was 1929. My family was black. Blacks had to follow unfair rules. I could not play with white children. Where and when were you born? Now, that is really unfair. That is so wrong. They had rules to keep people of different races apart. And as once again, as we read, it's as if he is talking to us. He's not really talking to us, but if he was going to talk to us about his life, these were some of the words he might tell us. So, where and when were you born? I was born in Fort Worth, Texas in 1975. Where were you born? Were you born in Fort Worth or somewhere else? I was smart. I was a good speaker. I went to college. I became a pastor. In this picture, in this illustration, we see he's holding a Bible. And in this one, there he is in the pulpit preaching at his church. I met Coretta Scott. I married her. We had 4 children. Now I see an illustration, a picture here, which is illustrating what he's talking about. So a picture in a book usually has to do with the words that are written. Whites and blacks still lived apart. We ate in different restaurants. We sat apart on buses. Blacks were unhappy. Once again, this is a really unfair time with a lot of unfair rules, and it really was wrong. And he knew growing up that something had to be done. I wanted to change things. I liked Gandhi's ideas. He taught people to be nonviolent. Now, who do you think this is? Yes, this is Gandhi. That picture illustrates what he's talking about. And Gandhi told people you have to work and you have to really, really fight for things that are right, but you don't really fight. You only work for things. You never use violence. You always do things the right way. And you only use your words, you never use your hands, you never use your fists. So that's what he lived by. Who inspires you? I marched for my beliefs. I dreamed of freedom. I wanted to make America better. I wanted blacks and whites to be treated equally. That means to be treated the same, as it should be. Here's an illustration of him holding up a sign that says equal rights. And here's a picture of him speaking for equal rights so that everybody would be treated fairly. Some people agreed with me. They wrote laws. Everyone must be treated the same. I was celebrated for my work. We see here a picture. This is Lyndon Johnson. He was a president at that time, and right behind him is Martin Luther King Jr. So he worked for things that the president signed and made into law, or helped to become into law, and all these people were here supporting that. So he really had a lot of success in working for equal rights. But my work was not done. I had more dreams. I wanted world peace. I wanted to help the poor. Here's a picture of him holding the Nobel Peace Prize. So he was wanting peace to happen, not just in the United States, but all over the world. You see a picture here of it says cabins for colored. So that is an area that it's a bad thing that they're still separating people of different races apart from other races. Before I could finish my work, James Earl Ray killed me. I was an important man. I fought for equality and justice. And so the last picture is of him, and it says, "What would you like to ask me?" So if you could ask him something, what would it be? Now we're going to do an illustration, and we can draw on that illustration Martin Luther King Jr. working for equal rights, or we can draw ourselves trying to help people out. All right. Thank you for reading with me.